Hey, what's up guys? It's Henry here again, and it's another week and another episode of Apparel Academy. Now here at Ricoma, we focus a lot on the overall customer experience. However, many custom apparel shops don't actually take into account the role that customer experience plays in their business and their workflows. However, it could be a critical point to your success. So in this special guest edition of Apparel Academy, instead of hearing from myself, you'll be hearing from Bruce Ackerman, founder of Printavo, where he will show you how to compete against other apparel shops and take your business into the future by leveraging customer experience. This is a snippet from our recent first ever virtual conference where Bruce will show you the workflows and technology that smart shops are using to get ahead of the game. So if you need some expert advice on how to gain a competitive edge in the custom apparel industry, make sure to stick around and watch the entire episode and start taking notes. All right, without further ado, let's cue the intro.
I'm going to talk to you guys today about the shop of the future here. Our industry is really competitive, right? Anybody can go buy an embroidery machine, anybody can go buy a screen printing press, and anybody can just start bringing in business from their friends, from their colleagues, coworkers, all that stuff. I mean, we did it. All of you guys have done it, right? So to be able to stick out from the common business is really, really important. This is a picture of a grocery store. This is the orange juice section, and as you can see, there are so many different types of orange juices, right? It's the same thing with coffee shops or any other type of more commodity-based business where there's a lot of options out there. And when there's a lot of options out there, you tend to generally pick, though, the ones that you're most comfortable with, the one brand that you like the most, the one that you like to taste the most, the one maybe that has the better price, right? There's something that connects you to it. But keep in mind, too, when there's an industry like this, which is very similar to ours, you do pay a premium for certain goods. I mean, look at, for example, Starbucks or a nice coffee shop that you know of around the corner, right? You could go to Dunkin' and get their dollar coffee. You could go to McDonald's, or a lot of people will wait in line for their favorite Starbucks drink, right? And if you start to think about it and ask yourself, what are the aspects really that come out that make me want to go pick this company and work with them and buy their products over and over and over? And these are some of the characteristics here that we're going to be able to talk about with helping you to compete. And I think that there's 4 aspects here. There are 4 aspects. Number 1 is sales. So how do you create a really good sales engine? And you don't have to be a big shop to do it. This isn't a 10, 15, 30 person shop this is stuff that works as a 1-2 person shop, being very, very efficient. The next one is organization and just staying organized, right? Staying organized makes your life easier, and it helps you as the business owner set you up to run the business, not be in the business. And there's a very strong distinction there. Are you in the business and stuck in the operations every day? Or do you feel like you're running it and you can step away and be on vacation and things will be okay to run? The next aspect here I want to talk about is wow moments. This is customer satisfaction. If you own an Apple product, I'm sure you've had this good experience. Even calling Amazon, for example, is pretty good experience, and they really go above and beyond to be able to help you. Like if your iPhone is within warranty and you brought it back, they just give you a brand new one and keep it moving, right? And that creates a long-term customer. Now, there's a balance, right? Do you redo a full hat embroidery order, or do you help them out, or do you just let them go? There's a lot of examples that you have to really get specific on, but the key is creating wow moments. And there's very cheap ways to be able to do that. The last one here I'm going to talk about is stores. Online stores are big. We released Printavo merch about a year ago to help our shops be able to run online stores, and we just crossed the $10 million mark of sales that people have used to generate revenue off of online stores. And what's really exciting, these are generally smaller shops to mid-sized shops that have generated that income, right? So they're using it as almost like a third-party sales rep that they don't have to hire, and that just keeps generating more income. And so we're going to talk about how to be able to do those and how to really succeed at those, because they're great for all types of customers, fundraisers, stores, teams, anything where people are collecting sizes and funds. Bring it in. It's a really good opportunity. Number one, whatever you're using, if you're on Printavo, if you're in Excel, if you're in QuickBooks, you need to be able to track your quotes and be able to know how many dollars are in each phase of each quote. Now, you may think, well, what do you mean? It's just one quote. I'm just sending out a quote and I'm seeing if they respond back. Well, that's not exactly the case. And this is what's called a pipeline. You've probably heard it before. Maybe you're starting to use it. But a pipeline is a way to be able to track sales as they go through the couple different stages. And those stages are all around following up. If you follow up on more orders and just ask them something personal, say, hey, I know your baseball games are coming up. Did you guys want to place orders so we can get them to you on time? Are you ready to go for next steps? Give them the easiest way to say yes to move on and follow up from that. I guarantee you, you will start closing more sales. It's basic. You guys are busy. So imagine them. They're also very busy, right? And so just by following up, asking them something very personal and making it very easy for them to just say yes so you can get to the next stage, that will push it over and you will close more sales. So don't forget follow up. You can implement this by creating, again, different statuses or stages in your process, and then be able to keep moving them step by step by step. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here is organization. Now, the first thing I want to talk about with creating your dream shop here is what organized production actually means. I say this again because we are so programmed to jump in and just do everything. And again, that works for the first 5 to 8 people that may be on your staff, but it does not scale. As business owners, invest in your time. Don't always just jump in, train the right people, and create that organization and that streamlined workflow. The thing is, you guys see this chart right here? You need to be able to create your chart. What is the order flow through your business? Document it. And this is going to be able to help you create that repetitive business process. So take some time, lock yourself, in an office. Don't let anybody talk to you. Go somewhere else, right? Spend a couple hours and just really nail this. And if you're able to do this, I'm telling you, it's going to really be able to help. It's not going to be set in stone also. You're going to want to be able to iterate on it. If an order gets printed but was missing a couple smalls, well, let's go through and create a patch in that process. Maybe on the QA side, right before anything gets printed and things get counted in, you have to sign off on it, right? Keep changing and improving that organization and that streamlined workflow aspect, and that's really going to be able to help you guys, because that's always going to, the more people you bring in, the more orders, the more things you do in your shop, it's always going to change. But again, it removes what's called the tribal knowledge from your head, all the orders in your head, all the processes in your head, all the ifs, ands, and buts in your head, and puts it out on the paper. And lastly, being organized as a business on the production end creates amazing customer experiences, because no due date's forgotten, no order is dropped, no things are forgotten because you totally forgot to write it down on a Post-it note. The next part I want to talk about is creating wow customer experiences. This is what creates sticky experiences. What sticky means is that customer will come back and come back and come back. And it's not based on price. It really is not based on price. Going back to the orange juice example, going back to the coffee shop example, it's based on what the customer cares about and how much are you helping them with what they care about. Look, I'm sure everybody has an example of a customer that went to another shop and then came back later because it was cheaper. And then they said, yeah, that was a horrible experience, and then went with you for the next time. You can be able to do this and create those wow experiences. Now, how to do this? Well, it's really based on everything that you're doing in the sales and organization end and the speed end. So if you're efficient on your sales process, if you're speedy with how you get back to customers, if you automate the follow-ups, which we have a lot of shops that are doing, you can be able to create wow experiences. If you have a transparent production process. You can create wow experiences. Here's an example. We have a lot of shops on Printavo that set up automations to be able to send notifications as an order goes through their production process, right? So, when it hits in production, when it's done, when it's being shipped, it sends a customer notification like they would if they ordered on Target.com or anything like that. That professionalism there and that transparency creates wow experiences. Again, these are things that you can set up in an hour or two, right? Nothing very complex. So wow experiences, the shops of the future that do this and focus on creating this and make the customer feel special are the ones that are going to really be able to matter and stick around as the industry continues to change. The next thing I want to talk about is online stores. If you haven't run a store, it may appear complicated. What do I do? How do I set it up? How do I market it? What customers do I go after? But I'm going to dumb it down to make it a lot easier and show you some successful tips that we see a lot of shops doing. And the real question that starts with stores is how can you add more value to your customer? Imagine, let's go back to the barbershop example, right? You've got a barbershop. They have shirts that's normally stacked, or hairstylists that got normally shirts stacked in the back, and people can browse them. Maybe they're getting dusty in the back, whatever happens. What if, instead of just printing the shirts, which anybody can really do, what if you could have a store for them? And that store was linked to their social media. And then when somebody bought something, you would ship it out to their customer, and you manage the inventory for it, and you help them maybe create designs for it, right? And you set up a nice simple store with a couple products, and it was nicely branded and everything, and you were managing that for them. You just went from adding this much value to this much value, okay? And that's what stores do for your customers. You're adding more value, and you're vertically integrating into the supply chain. So now instead of just charging, $8 a shirt or a hat, whatever it is, you can charge much more because you're doing much more and adding much more value to your customer. Here's another tip I almost forgot about stores. Work with customers, with stores who have a very good social media or online following. If you create a store and you've had a bad experience in the past, it's most likely because they did not promote it. You need to be able to let them know, hey guys, you got to email this out to your base about 3 times. You need to be able to post on social repetitively. You need to be able to talk about it. Maybe put flyers in your store if you have one. They have to promote it, not you. Your customer bases are different. If you get them to promote it, and those usually the customers with big social presences do promote well, then your stores have a much better shot of doing well too. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, I'm Bruce from Printavo, really excited to be able to be here. If you guys have questions, you can always email me, bruce@printavo.com. That is my email. We're all over social, so just search Printavo and you'll be able to pull it up. And thanks again, Ricoma, so much for allowing me to spend time with you guys, and hopefully that was helpful.
Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you found that helpful and had some good takeaways from that presentation. If you want to stay ahead of the competition, you do need to consider your customer experience in all aspects of your workflow and invest in the right technologies to help automate some of those processes. If you enjoyed content just like this, make sure to smash that like button. It will greatly help out this channel, and subscribe to get notified as soon as a new video comes out. Also, if you'd like insights just like these, make sure to check out our Deco Summit event happening in March of 2021. This is the premier event and summit focusing on education for the apparel decoration industry. In Deco Summit, we'll be inviting guest speakers just like Bruce, where they'll be having seminars on different topics, as well as opportunities for networking and hands-on training. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out decosummit.com. I've put the link in the description below. Finally, this presentation from Bruce was only a snippet of our 2-day virtual conference. So if you're interested to get access to the on-demand recordings of that 2-day virtual conference, I put the link in a pinned comment in the comment section below. As always, make sure to follow us on Instagram at RicomaHQ. If you haven't done so already, we post there daily, so you can be a part of the conversation there. And make sure to join our free Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, where there's now close to 20,000 embroiderers and custom apparel decorators sharing tips just like this one. All right, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next time.